It's absolutely beautiful today. Welcome back to the edge of the Boreal forest. It is January 31st, 2024 today, and we're here, and it's a beautiful +5 degrees Celsius in January. Unbelievably warm. Yesterday and the day before it got to +8, and yesterday it got to +9. So all of that snow that we were waiting for to go sledding with is disappearing. It is something to see. We don't usually see weather that warm in our area of the province this time of year. January is usually frigid and very cold, just like it was a couple of weeks ago. We went from -34.5 degrees Celsius up to 9 degrees Celsius yesterday, and I cannot remember going to +9 ever in my life in this area of the province in January. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to do something today that I've never done before. I am going to be seed saving today, and there's a reason behind it, and I will explain to you once we get into the garden what I'm going to be doing. I just can't believe that I'm going to be going into the garden in the middle of January, but it is for good reason, and I will explain that when I take you out there. And also too, I have a little bit of carrots that were left in the garden when the first snow came last fall, and I left them there because I wanted to see what it would be like to dig them up later on and to see if they would be any good. I had been told that you could actually leave your carrots in the garden and winter them. So I'm going to be going into the garden and doing a little bit of seed saving. I'll explain to you what I'm doing, and we're going to check on those carrots. And we're just going to have a beautiful day outside this afternoon, because you never know. In 2 weeks, there could be 2 feet of snow on the ground, and it could be -40. You just don't know. So welcome back to the edge of the Boreal forest, and let's have some fun. Aw, look at you two. Just loving that warm weather. There's Luna and her bone, chewing on that bone. There's a Christmas tree that's got to be hauled away yet, but we'll get to that. Hey, sweet girl, you enjoying it? Aw. Look at you, old boy. Just loving this warm weather. Yeah. As the snow melts, we end up with a sheet of ice is what we get. But if it's going to be this warm, maybe with any luck, it'll melt everything right off. Oh, there's Luna's dog dish. See, you can see the water laying there already today. So we're gonna head out to the garden here. This is our strawberry bed and herb bed. We have chives that will come up here in the spring, and we have strawberries. We usually have more snow coverage than this, and it usually does protect them, so I am a bit concerned about how well they'll come up in the spring or not, but we'll have to see. Last year we had a really good crop of strawberries for the size of the bed it was, and much thanks to my stepdaughter for all the hard work she puts into it. She looks after this as I look after the bigger garden. I also get help from everybody too with the bigger garden, but she's the primary caretaker of the strawberry bed, and she knows how much I appreciate that. So here we are at the edge of the garden, and the reason why I'm out here is there's a couple of reasons. I want to talk about seeds, and I want to talk about gardening zones. We are in a garden zone here of a 2 on the garden zone scale, which means that we have harsh temperatures and a harsh climate to be planting seeds up here. We have a growing season from about mid-May till about mid-September, and then we get frost at that point in time. Some things can stand the frost and stay in the ground a little bit longer, like the root vegetables, but most everything else needs to come out by the time the frost shows up. So it can be a scramble in the fall. As far as what seeds to tell you to buy, I can't tell you that. It depends solely on what zone you're in and where the seeds are available in your area. I can tell you the best type of seeds to buy would be seeds that have been grown, like plants that have been producing seed in your area. That is the best and the hardiest ones for your area that will grow in your particular climate. So the best seeds for me to be buying are hardy seeds from Western Canada. So I try and stick with that. I do order seeds from other seed companies, but primarily try to order seeds from Western Canada. I also order seeds that I try to order seeds that the companies track their progress on, their germination, the percentage of germination, and how they're doing. But to be honest with you, the best seeds that you can plant in your garden are the seeds that you cultivate and save from your very own garden. I started seed saving, seed saving a few years ago, and some of the seeds I've been trying to save and preserve for the next growing season have been sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, tomato seeds. I did this last year, bean seeds. And there's a few things that I learned. I learned that if you plant pumpkin along with spaghetti squash or other things like that, they're going to cross-pollinate, and the seed that you have the next year is going to produce an unusually different vegetable. So I am learning. I also last year I had planted 3rd generation sunflower seeds off of the farm, and unfortunately we had a lot of smoke last year, which prevented right at that particular formation of the seed inside of the sunflower shell, prevented it from forming. So one out of every 12 sunflower seeds that I cracked open, there was only one that actually had a seed in it. So I basically lost that. So I'm going to have to start over again with that. The tomato seeds, last year was the first time I actually saved the tomato seeds, so we're going to plant those here in March and we'll see how it goes. The bean seeds, they worked well. So it's a learning process as we go through and try the seed saving. And there's other things I have learned as well. For example, carrot seeds. We would have to leave the carrots in the ground for 2 years in order to harvest carrot seeds. The growing season here just isn't long enough the first year to be able to harvest seeds from. So the carrots need to stay in the ground until the 2nd year when they're able to grow bigger and taller and flower and then produce their seed from the flower. So I haven't quite ventured into that yet. I kind of need to have a different plot for that. But we're learning. And like I said, we're on an adventure, even with the garden, and we'll learn as we go. One of the things I had noted, though, and this is one of the reasons why we're out here today, is I had about 4 or 5 different varieties of dill planted in my garden last year, and some of them come to the right point for pickling and preserving at different times. And one of the dill plants that I found most amazing and big and beautiful and hardy was a dill variety called the mammoth dill. So last year got quite busy, and I knew that I had seeds on those plants that I probably could be saving, but it's like everything else on the farm. Things need to be prioritized and other things need to be done. So I never did seed save off of those, thinking that, you know, I would probably just order another package through the seed companies this coming year and plant again. Well, I have scoured the seed companies that I've bought from, and I can't find the variety mammoth dill. And I'm like, oh, well, let's go take a look in the garden and see what we can find. And lo and behold, there's still seeds on the mammoth dill out here. So I am taking this beautiful warm day to go out and see if I can seed save and see if it'll actually grow for us this coming summer. So we're going to go over to the dill patch just right over there, and I'll show you what I'm going to be seed saving. It should be interesting to follow. All right. So the first dill in this particular patch right here in this row is a dill called fern leaf dill, and it grew. It didn't get very big, but it grew some very, very beautiful stalks with a lot of fern leaves on it, if I could describe it that way. And it was perfect for saving and drying and crumbling up into dill weed. So we've got the fern leaf dill, which was first in this row. Let's see here. That is the mammoth dill right there. I'm so happy that I left the stakes in. Okay, so let's just take a look here, see what we have for seeds. Can you see that? There's a few on there. Yep. Let's back up a little bit so that you can maybe see a bit better. So we should be able to save a little bit off of that. And hopefully we'll plant them and they'll grow in the summertime, and then forever and a day I'll be saving seeds off of these, because you never know if you'll ever be able to find it again. So let's get started. So we're going to just take our fingers and we're just going to rub the frond of the dill head here. I think that's what you call it. Bring it over into the container and just gently rub the seeds off or pull them off. It's a bit of a tedious job, but must be done. And see how there's no seed left on there? I hope you can see that. Oh my goodness, it's such a beautiful day out. It's a perfect day to be doing this. Let's see, some of these might be a little bit smaller up here, but we're going to take them. I'll just gently rub or pull them off. How it's done with dill. In the fall, you make sure that your dill heads are very dry, but get out before they start dropping to the ground if you're going to save them. And then this is how you save the seeds. see if you can see this. Look how many seeds we've saved already. All right. I'm going to take as many as I can. Hi. I'm going to take as many as I can, and when I'm done, I'll bring you back. Well, I think I got most of them. I'm going to be happy with this. Hopefully that they will germinate and they'll grow again in the spring. Also, too, I looked for my carrots. Unfortunately, I did not stake them, and because we had rain in the fall, and because the snow that we've had already is starting to melt, there is a thick layer of slushy ice, and I'm having a hard time getting through that with the fork without breaking them. Because it wasn't staked, I think I started in the wrong row. I found the odd turnip, but I'm not exactly sure where the carrots are, so we're just going to leave them. And we've got plenty in the house anyways, so we've got them stored away in the fridge and in the cold room, so we'll be good. But I'm very happy to have collected these today. And I'm happy to have brought you with me as well. Okay, we're gonna go make some coffee and we're gonna enjoy a little bit of time in the sun. Fresh coffee, hazelnut creamer, international delight. But I am going to learn to make my own hazelnut creamer someday. Do you have a cup of coffee? If not, pause the video and go get one and enjoy a cup with me. There's something I wanted to talk to you about. It's been on my mind. I've been a nurse for about 20 years, and I would say that most of that 20 years I have been a long-term care nurse. It wasn't until recently, in the last 7 years, that I come to this small community on the edge of the Boreal forest, that I had actually gained a lot of experience in acute care. But my heart remains with long-term care, and there are many reasons for that. One of the reasons is because we get to talk to the elderly residents about their lives when they were younger, when they were young and got married and were raising their families, and the trials and tribulations that they went through back then. It was difficult times for them. And one lady in particular came to mind, and I remember everything that she told me. She had several children, and she said her and her husband worked hard to provide for them. She said it was from dawn until dusk, and she would tell me about all the different things they had to do, hand washing, hauling water, by pail from the well. Just various things that I can't even imagine. I really can't. You know, I have a great deal of respect for the elderly residents that have lived through those hard times. So when you work long-term care, you become attached to these residents, and it's very difficult when their time draws near and they pass away. But if there's one thing I've taken from the experience, and one thing that I have learned and that they have told me, is that some of them have regrets in life and some of them don't. But I have never ever heard a single one of them say, I regret I didn't work harder, or I regret that I didn't work harder for that bigger house or that bigger vehicle. And I think part of the reason for that is because when they get to that point in their lives, their lives become so small. Their possessions are basically what they have with them, right in their very own suite or their room. So really, in the end, for them, it didn't matter how big their house was or what kind of vehicle they drove. Most of what they had said, or what they had conveyed to me, you know, as things drew near for them, was that they wished they had spent more time with family, that they had spent more time doing the things they love and enjoy, more time getting to know other people, more time developing, you know, lifetime relationships, more time making memories. That was probably the most important one that I'd heard them talk about, was, you know, making memories. Because by the time you get to the point where you will be in long-term care, and most people will, don't kid yourself, that's really all you have left is your family and your memories. So those are the things that you need to be focusing on, you know, creating memories and enjoying the journey and creating family ties and cultivating those relationships. Because in the end, it doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank or how big a house you have or what kind of car you drive. In the end, it's the family and the friends around you and the memories that matter. So I take more time to do things like these, because these are the things I'm going to remember later on in life when my time is drawing near and I know I don't have much time left. And I don't want to live with regrets. I really don't. So I really do encourage you to stop thinking about what kind of house you want or how much money you have in the bank. I mean, pay your bills and buy your groceries, but, you know, what kind of car you want to drive. Because in the end, it doesn't matter. In the end, after you're gone, that'll all be gone too. But I really do encourage you to enjoy the things that you enjoy and spend time with your family when you can. And that's the most important thing, is the journey and making memories. And one of the reasons why I wanted to create this channel was so that I could save some of these memories and you know, when I'm gone, my children and my grandchildren will still be able to see this. So I encourage you to do the same. Don't let life pass by without enjoying it. You get out there and enjoy it as well. And trust me, when it comes to your time, you won't have any regrets. I promise you. You drinking your coffee? That's good. This is what I mean.